All right, so we're live. Morning, Kevin. It's actually afternoon here, 1 o'clock. Hopefully the sound is good. I don't know where some of you guys are, but in the Northeast there is a massive, like, really bad heat wave. I'm sitting like in front of the fan. I installed another air conditioner yesterday, but it is scorching hot out. Um, yeah, so markets really anemic here. 1 p.m. and we just crossed 19 million shares traded on the SPY. Um, and for as light of a volume day as it's been, there's actually been a little bit of action, I have to say. I can't say I'm too disappointed. Um, as we scan across here, I'll just do a little quick scan. So crude coming in pretty sharply, actually. Down about, it's almost 2% here, 1.8 there. And, as yields coming in, if we look over the TNX here, yields lower again, but no, I mean, again, still kind of holding this pattern. This is a little bit of a short-term kind of bearish inside bar, but I mean, it's not like the yields are crashing or anything, but nonetheless, tech much higher. And if you look over here, the other high yield plays like Dow Transports here, again coming in as well. Some real estate ETFs, BNQ here, weak on the day. You've got JP Morgan, the financials are weak. So what you'd expect from a lower yield environment. But tech really kind of just standing out. I mean, it's not like yields are crashing, but tech is acting like they are. And that's why I was really mentioning earlier, like, I think that this disinflation thing might actually be a thing. And I'm not saying it, the market is, because the way that tech's rallying right now, it's almost like that's what kind of what the charts are saying. But then again, is it just the fact that there's so much liquidity and it's got to go somewhere, and the market's tired of rotating it into home builders and Dow Transports, and now we're just going to rotate back to tech. But anyways, that's why I hedged with Apple last week. I actually like this now very much as a hedge. I could have gone with Microsoft, Google, or any one of those, but I liked Apple because it hasn't kind of run yet. So I figure if there is going to be a run with tech stocks, then this one's got some catching up to do. So there's a little bit more of a risk reward there that's favorable to me. I also don't like buying stuff at all-time highs like Google. I mean, Google's just been a house, but this is just ridiculous at this point. Same thing with like Nvidia. I mean, this is this is insane. Nvidia helping the semiconductors push to new all-time highs as well. Cloud software, yeah, all-time high also. So Techland really loving it. But another, again, elephant in the room, dollar holding up. So this is something we're keeping an eye on here, because if this makes another leg up, it can crash the party. But for now, market's going to hold up, and that's why I said in the weekend video, like, you don't want to, go out and have a beer, go to the beach, go do something this week. There's going to be really light volume. You don't want to make too much. You don't want to overtrade yourself into a bad situation here. When there's 20 million shares traded at 1 p.m. on the SPY, that's not, that's not real market makers moving the market. That's not anything you want to be really involved in. So don't overtrade here. Don't make too much of the action. But there, for what it is, there's been some nice action today. IWM coming in pretty nicely here also, and actually surprisingly, VXX is up as well. I would think that even with the markets flat, VXX short-term volatility would be getting hit. I would bet pretty much anything you can possibly ask me to bet that VXX will be lower by the end of the week, but that's neither here nor there. What else? So we have Viacom squeezing finally. So congrats to everybody that got in on this. Again, I flipped it. I had to rotate out of it just to raise cash. I still loved it. Wish I could have got back in, but nonetheless, congrats to everybody who got in on that. That should give a lift to stocks like Discovery here, although it's not really doing much at the moment. But it wouldn't be surprising to me at all if that there was some chirping the other day about the Comcast thing. They were in talks to maybe buy out Viacom. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody knows something, or maybe the shorts are just running scared at this point, and maybe we get some news of a deal. Either way, it's going to help this whole sector. I still like this pattern on IQ. It looked like it was going to break out earlier today. It had a nice open, as you can see here on the chart. Had a nice little push earlier on and then kind of just came back in. But as long as this thing goes sideways, I actually like it even more. As long as it just holds this upper range here, it's looking to build a base up to probably make a run at 18. You've got some other stocks in the sector that are really beaten up that I've been talking about. Vip Shop, I took profits on this one last week. What else? GOTU, GSX. These names they're probably going to catch a bid now that Viacom's finally pushing through, because that M&A activity is going to filter through the whole sector. So some of these names should catch a bid. I know it's bottom picking, but I don't really like to, there's not many things that are really attractive to me right now on the long side, just because everything's so overbought. But that said, going into next month, I think, so I've been talking about August being like really the pivotal month. I think that's true. But now I'm not really sure as far as how yields are going to play, because now the market's kind of telling me like, hey, like we're really concerned about disinflation here. So previously I was pretty much had my mind set the yields were going to push higher and make a run at 2%, but now I'm not so sure. I do know that August is going to be the major pivot point. I've lined that all up with all the analysis I've done, but I'm not sure as to which way it's going to go. Now, with that said, I am looking at a few names just in case. The signs say to go long tech. I do kind of like Broadcom here. And like, again, these are not names that I would normally say like, hey, let's go long. But if push comes to shove, if I got to pick something, like these are the names that I would pick. So I like Broadcom. It's not terribly extended on the monthly. It's all right on the weekly. And on the daily, it's okay as well. Micron as well. Had a nice little retracement. It's got some support here. Monthly, again, it's really extended like most of the semiconductors. But, it had nice, look at these little test candles. So it's trying to put in a base here. So, another month or two, maybe if we get a correction or something like that, this could be something you could look at. And the best one, honestly, this is actually surprising to even me, but Netflix. This is like the most extended big name, close to FANG stock there is. I mean, that's, big market cap that is not extended. If you look at all the other ones, they're all just parabolic, except for Apple as well. So there's Apple too, but obviously I have that already. But this is actually putting in a decent base. Like, honestly, I can't really hate this. And this is on a monthly time frame too. You get this 20 up sloping, you get another month or two of consolidation, this thing could blast off. It's been in a range for a while, but this is nice. This is like one of the few good bullish charts that I've seen out there from Techland. So, if push comes to shove, that's where I'll be looking to put my money on the long side. And I might even do it anyway if we get a correction. Like, these are the stocks I might be looking to pick up. So, but that ultimately I'm not like, I'm talking about like being sort of bullish tech a little bit here. That doesn't change my view. I still think we're gonna get a pretty good correction, maybe 10-12%. But as far as really what happens with yields from there is going to be kind of, I'm not as certain as I once was. I'll put it that way. I think the bigger cut in the market is going to happen next year, but that's a long ways away. So, but regardless, we're looking at, I want to say, the second half of July. The first week or two of July is really just the holidays, light volume. And there's just not a lot going on. But I think towards the second half and into August, that's where all the major cycles are starting to line up. So, yeah, and I mean, like, we're seeing the spiders roll over a little bit here. I'm actually surprised at how much the VXX is positive right now. I mean, I know it's not much, but considering the spider is down 0.1% basically, and VXX is positive by 1.2, and the Qs are up almost 1%. It's just strange to see the short-term volatility that high right now. Long-term volatility makes sense, but Let's see. Yeah, VIX just kind of hanging in here. Did everyone get a chance to check out the Head and Shoulders video I did? Yeah, so we're getting a bit of a rollover here. Again, this is just like dead volume though. This is just algos bouncing the market. Even so, you have, you know, well, not the home builders so much, but I was talking about this real estate Vanguard here, this real estate ETF. I mean, this tested this little area here. This breaks, it's going to go a little bit lower. So I mean, there's some stocks that are nearing like pretty key levels. Considering how light the volume is, it's kind of surprising. Again, like Dow Transport, same thing. Like retesting this low, could easily put in a higher low here, but just interesting to see these names actually kind of rolling over right now. But Apple holding up well, so I'm glad I put that hedge in last week. So. No, how's sand doing? Ooh. The whole sector getting hit, or is that just... Yeah, it looks like the whole sector's getting hit. And gold's actually holding up. Wheaton's holding up nicely. Wheaton's such a tank. Wheaton is such a tank. Look, I mean, look, it hasn't even broken the 382 yet. It might, but what a tank. Let's take a look at sand again, though. Give me 1 second. I kind of want to pick this up right now. So you're into like this necktie here of the 100 and 200, and then you have this previous breakout and a 50% fib. That's a really good risk reward setup. And you have the 618 just below it. They got a downgrade. Of course, they got a downgrade. And you know, I was actually thinking recently that Wall Street finally warmed up to it. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up. I was talking with Jason about this. I can find it. Let me see. Let me check one of my other things. But there's basically a comparison I did on Sandstorm, and it's essentially it was outperforming pretty much the entire sector. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up. Let's see. That's really disappointing, though. But it looks like the whole sector's kind of coming in as well, so. Wednesday. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, so the purple line here is actually Sandstorm. This is going back to the March lows. So this purple line Sandstorm, this is from last week. I think the blue is Wheaton, and then I believe the pink is, I want to say GDX, or maybe it's Agnico or Newmont or something. And then the candles are the price of gold. So Sandstorm actually outperformed significantly the whole sector, really. So it's really disappointing to see them get a downgrade like that. They probably just downgraded it so they could buy more. Yeah, that's pretty good. I actually like this level for a swing trade, honestly. Like not even, I mean, obviously a longer, like this is a good area to accumulate longer term, but this is actually not a bad swing trading level. I might actually take this later today. Yeah, there's a ton of support here. Let's see, back distance. I really want to see where gold closes the month out. It's gonna be very interesting. Like if gold gets a decent bounce over the next couple of days, that drastically changes the optics of this candle, of this big red candle here. But we'll see. Still 2 days left. And I mean this is a pretty textbook bear pattern. You got a sharp move down and then you're kind of flagging bearish underneath all the moving averages. But I mean it could fail. The likelihood of it failing is, I would say, reasonably high because the weekly chart is still in an uptrend. You did close below this green bar, though I don't like that. But on the monthly you still have this nice 20 moving average here, so $20. Let's see. Picked up January 23. Yeah, I mean they're cheap, so. And if you look at like longer term, if the price of gold does break out, I mean this thing has so much catching up to do. So I mean those $10, I mean you could easily bank 10x easily on those if they pan out. So I like the risk reward there. But yeah, I might actually pick this up as a swing trade. I might have to. All right, well, I'm gonna get going, guys. Again, yeah, really light volume. Don't force yourself into too much here. Just kind of take it easy this week. A lot of people are taking the week off. A lot of institutional traders take the week off, as you can see with the light volume. Still just 20 million. Yeah, basically the same as when I started this. So volume traded. But yeah, we'll look for some more volatility, hopefully later this month. But you know, I'll keep you guys updated on what I'm doing and everything. But thank you guys very much for coming in, and we'll talk to you later.